Brand new week, brand new reactions of the actions that happened over the weekend in the world of sport across the world. This wonderful morning, we'll be taking to the journey into the world of sport. Top of the morning to you, and you're welcome to Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Just in case you're wondering, this is Dominion Sport, where we talk all things sport right here on the go. And let me inform you that the number 7 is the perfection number. No wonder Erling Braut Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Lionel Messi are both topping the goal chart when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. Trust me, a frantic moment when it comes to the World Cup. Argentina to make it through extra time. Morocco are through. France are through. Norway are defeating almighty Brazil. Also, let me inform you, more actions packed in the world of local stories, the MPFL, the world of basketball, the world of the Wimbledon tennis, a massive upset when it comes to that end, and also giving you the updates in the world of Formula One. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio. Always with the man we will call Knight of Honor, Sir Nuruddin Alimi, joining me in the studio this wonderful morning. Sir Nuruddin, how excited are you over the weekend? Action-packed weekend, the World Cup. Proved something cinematic. You go straight down to the Mexico-England game. You talk about France, Norway. I mean, Brazil, Norway. You talk about France against Paraguay. You're wondering, are we fighting war now? You look at other games. Argentina, Cabo Verde, one for the history books when it comes to the FIFA World Cup.
Good morning to Oluwanimi. Good morning to our viewers. It's nice to be back again. It was an amazing weekend. You've said it all. Action was on all fronts. Talk about football, talk about basketball, talk about the local scene. Athletics was not left out. Combat sports, everything was just buzzing, and we were finding spaces on our screens to fit in all the action, and it was interesting. The round of 32 of the World Cup ended over the weekend. In Argentina, Cape Verde was the last game, and it was very interesting to see how that one capped off the round of 32. And immediately after that, round of 16 came up with its own drama, and we're enjoying it. We are living up to it. The stories are being written. A lot of firsts. Norway are into the quarterfinals for the first time in their history. And in Haaland, his first World Cup, scoring 7 goals already. How many more does he have in his boots before the end of the competition? France, still unstoppable. Kylian Mbappe still leading the charge for them. Despite the war. It was interesting.
Interesting, I agree.
Different attacks, different mode of playing, and at the end of the day, they were able to nick that over Paraguay, qualified for the next round of the competition to face Morocco. Morocco, a very exciting side as well.
Another repeat of the World Cup in 2022.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. You have to see how that's going to pan out, because these are teams that are playing exciting football at the moment, and they're on top of their game right now. And for the host nations, 2 are out, 1 to go, and the lion's share of the host nation, which is the USA, are pulling strings. Trump calling in shots to get players to play for his team in the round of 16. That has raised many controversies, but we'll go into that later. Wimbledon over the weekend was exciting to see. Aryna Sabalenka was knocked out by Naomi Osaka. That's to show you it's not just fashion she's here for. She's here for the great. Coco Gauff also into the quarterfinals of the Wimbledon for the first time in her career as well. So
Igor Swiatek out.
Igor Swiatek also got defeated over the weekend. So that's on the Wimbledon front. And in Formula One, there was drama yesterday. 4 laps to go. The safety car came up, and at the end of the day, FIA came up with something in the glitch in their system, disrupted the flow of the game. Sad one for Kimi Antonelli, had a mishap towards the end of the race, but at the end of the day, Ferrari got P1 and P3 at the end of the race, and we'll dissect that alongside all the stories we've got here for them today.
All right, we're going to be looking into the stories making the round in the world of sport. I just want to urge you to please fasten your seatbelt, because we are moving on a greater altitude right now. Let's start off from the local front this wonderful morning, as MPFL has issued a final ultimatum to clubs indebted to players and coaches, directing them to settle all outstanding salaries, liabilities, and comply with the decision of PSAC by July 31st, 2026, or risk incurring an automatic transfer ban ahead of the 2026-2027 season. So, Sanuruddin, now the update is we're actually enjoying the whole moment of the transfer here and there, clubs making the moves and all of that, but they're asking the questions. Have you paid off your staffs, your players? Are you in debt? If you're not, then please go ahead. But if you are, I think we're going to put on hold to all the transfer, stories going around your club and that.
Definitely, that's how to go about it. If you are owing your current crop of employees, Why are you trying to invite new ones to join the ones on the ground and announcing huge money just to interest other players to get to your club? It's not the right way to do business, and that was a good one from MPFL and NSC trying to stop that. And we hope they comply to it and they do it, because we know it's one thing to release a communique like this, and it's another thing to investigate how this is actually going on in the background. We hear different stories today, and some higher power or someone at the back pull strings for them, and these teams get away with these things. And it's just sad that at this stage and time again, we are still going back and forth of owing players and the technical crew salaries from the completed football season. But you won't blame them as well. The MPFL have not come out to say they've disbursed the payments for last season's participation in the league. For those that are relegated, the champions, the runners-up, and teams that snapped up the continental ticket. So it's shady everywhere, but we hope they get to the root of this and comply. Pay your salaries, pay up your debts, and before you're able to bring in new players and register them. We saw the issue with Barcelona in Europe in La Liga. They had to go through several methods just to get them to be able to register new players. So I think if that is introduced into the MPFL as well, it's going to make it better and improve the quality of the league.
Agree. All right, let's take more stories from the local front. As Kano Pillars newly appointed technical advisor Daniel Ogunmonede unveiled a 2-year contract signed, 2 to come with with his own backroom staff. The new era begins. Now, last week, we given an update about Salisu Yusuf making an appointment and all of that, but they finally turned to Daniel Ogunmonede. Ejebol has been unveiled as the new technical advisor for Kano Pillars. I want to ask you, how excited is it going to be for Kano Pillars? New management, new system, new technical advisor. Are we expecting something that we are used to from Kano Pillars for next season?
Yes, definitely. They look like a team on their way back to their days of glory. Change in management, change in personnel, and now they have a very great coach. Jabol, fantastic time with Remo Stars.
Well experienced.
Well experienced. He knows what he's doing, knows how to put up a side to challenge for the trophies. And for a team with history like Kano Pillars, definitely bringing them back to that glory days is definitely on the cards for them. And he's a great coach. Last season went the way he went with Remo Stars, but for the past 3 or 5 seasons in the MPFL, I struggle to find so many coaches that can outwit him when it comes to the tactical setup of a team in the MPFL. It's also part of the technical crew for the Super Eagles. That's to show you how vast and experienced he is. So they've gotten their man now, and I expect fireworks from Kano Pillars next season. All
right, we'll be looking forward to Kano Pillars for next season. Let's see how far they can go with Daniel Ogunmonede being in charge of Kano Pillars for next season. Let's take more stories to making around in the world of sports right here on the go, and this is coming from the camp of the FIFA Under-17s Women's World Cup. Flamingos edge a 5-goal trip in Ikene Remo. Nigeria Under-17 girls Flamingos on Saturday defeated their counterpart from Benin Republic, the Amazons, 3-2 in the first leg of a final round qualifying fixtures for the year's FIFA Women's World Cup final. The return leg will take place at the stadium Kungele in Lome, Togo on Saturday next week, with the winner guaranteed a spot in this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup final to be hosted in Morocco. It's still all to play in the second leg, but the girls had to do it, right there in Ikene, 3-2.
That was a very important victory for them, and it's going to boost their chances of qualifying for the Showpiece tournament later in the year. I expect more from them. I have always complained severally about their chance conversion. I think they're working on that right now, and that's to show you games against academies or friendlies against sides that are put together is not a measure of how far the side have gone. They need to do it against opponents on the bigger stage, and they gave a good account of themselves, yes, but I hope they can do better and limit the chances they give their opponents and convert their own chances and put the ball in the back of the net. That's going to do their chances a whole lot of good. Second leg, I expect them to complete the route and get their tickets.
You think they can compete against them?
I'm very confident in the girls. They've shown what they can do. We've seen them in previous rounds of this qualifying rounds. We've seen them play friendlies, and bar 1 or 2 things that are short falling for them right now, they should be good and qualify for the tournament at the end of the day.
All right, beautiful. And that's the update right there on the screen. The game ended 3-2. All right, let's take more stories. And this coming from Nigeria under 17 against Tanzania under 17. The Nigerian Golden England fell to the Serenity Boys in their opening game in the Four Nation tournament in China. The boys will face their counterpart from Australia in the second game on Wednesday. That one did not end in favor of the Golden England.
Yes, most of these competitions are developmental. You don't expect much, but the icing on the cake would be them getting the victory and churning out fantastic football. They were unlucky in the first game of the competition, losing by 3-2, but I definitely see them bouncing back against Australia because they play together as a unit. Their shortfall has been converting their chances and limiting their opponents from getting time on the ball to create chances. So if they work on that and go back to the drawing board, I see them turning things around and qualifying and getting victory on their hands later on.
Great. It's already a way in order for them to, you talk about development of football in Nigeria. I think it started from the ranks of the under 17, under 20, under 23. I think we need to go back to that drawing board to restructure that system.
Most definitely, most teams that are flourishing well in the world right now, the backbone has been the players that rose through the ranks. Victor Osimhen is one good example. Kelechi Iheanacho did that with the side as well, and a host of other players had the benefit or
the privilege.
Yes, thank you, of rising through the ranks and showing what they can do. And if you get them if you catch them young, put them together, you're able to build a backbone of players that would interest various clubs and technical directors in different parts of the world that will even make their talents, nurture them better into great professionals. So going back to the grassroots is very important. Under 17, under 20, under 23. If we get a mode of players together that are integrated into the Super Eagles or into the national team at the end of the day, it's going to be a very good one and a good success for whoever attains that at the end of the day.
All right, that's the update coming through from the Golden Eaglet. And let me inform you that Nigeria ends the first round of the World Cup qualifiers with a win. We're talking basketball, the most win margin by a team so far at the qualifiers for the 4 points. The second most points scored in a game at the 2027 qualifiers so far. The third team to score 100 points in a game in 2027 qualifiers. 4 straight win. What a way to end the qualifiers for Team Nigeria, the Tigers.
Looks like they are back, and with the current group of players on the roster, they look like
new management,
new coaches, and improved incentives for the players. So I think it's been a great one. The qualifiers, even though they didn't start preparations as early as a lot of people would have wanted, they've showed us what they are made of and qualified for the competition at the end of the day. It's a good one. I'm looking forward to see the team perform better in subsequent tournaments.
I want to ask you, what's the way forward for the Tigers to keep this momentum going? We know that we have already enjoyed more from the Tigers, but we want more from the Tigers.
The most important thing is not to lose this side. The roster is very good at the moment. A lot of NBA stars coming together to represent the colors of Nigeria, and that was what we had in times past, before the IBF and MBF saga and all, that denied the team the chances of getting together and performing in competitions and giving them a proper structure. Yes, we have a roadmap now, we have a coach, we have players that are willing to represent us on the big stage. Get them together, keep them together, organize friendlies for them. Same way the Tigers went on a tour. Get a committee or a part of a parastatal of the government in the NFF or in the NSC, in the Sports Commission, put them together, give them a proper send-off and give them proper preparation times for competitions coming up. Don't just swing your fingers when it's 3 or 2 weeks to the game. Bring them together. Keep this side together. There are other exciting stars who are willing to represent the cause of Super Eagles, of the Tigers, Get them together as well, integrate them together into the squad, and definitely this side is going to turn into world beaters at the end of the day. All
right, beautiful. We'll be giving you more updates from the Tigers. Wonderful victory right there, sealing qualification. All right, 4 straight win, and we'll be looking more into the world of basketball. Let's move away from that and let's take a World Cup update as round of 32 is already put to an end, round of 16 coming close to an end. But let's start off from the game the world was watching when you talk about night football. Cabo Verde against the world champions Argentina. What a night it was for them. A country of 500,000 people were able to push it through against Argentina. How exciting for you to watch that game against Argentina. Were you expecting all of that, or you were expecting an easy run? Right here, we spoke about not respecting European teams, and they did show that. You can go ahead to pick out, some of those players are not even, they don't have a top club they're playing for. The defender, one of their defenders was sorted out from LinkedIn. That's how, you can't call them professionals, but they showed themselves against a team like Argentina.
Yes, that's a very great one. They had a great tournament in the end, even though we would have loved to see them progress more than what they did, but they came up against strong opposition in Argentina. Yes, they gave a good account of themselves, and go back to my question, or go back to my reason of saying it's not about mentality now. You have to show quality at the end, and just that extra bit that Argentina had in their side.
You think it's not mentality that pulled them through to this stage?
That's not mentality, it's the quality in their side that has put
I want to ask you, how do you define mentality?
Mentality is your mindset, the way you approach games.
So now hold on. You said the mindset. Now the coach is telling them this is the mindset I want you to work with. Don't respect the Argentines.
Mindset doesn't win you games. Quality wins you game at the end of the day.
But they don't have the quality.
They have the quality. They showed you. It's not about the names on the paper that guarantees quality. It's not the names you put. It's not the Messis of this world or the Ronaldos of this world. We've seen great sides collapse in this current World Cup. The English national team, we hail them for having players like that, but at the end of the day, you won't call them world beaters or strong contenders like that. Names on the paper or names in the roster doesn't qualify quality. It's what you churn out on the field of play that brings quality. If you put the Ghanaian side and the Cabo Verde side together, you tell me the Ghanaian side are of much quality than the Cabo Verde side because of the names, the likes of Ayu, Partey, Semenyo, but who play better football? That's quality. Quality over quantity. The Senegalese side played very well, but at the end of the day, they fell short towards the end. So, if you are good, you are good. If you are bad, you are bad. And the Cape Verde side, kudos to them.
Kudos to them.
They can raise their heads. And for the goalkeeper and the entire squad in general,
he's a free agent. Would you allow Manchester United sign him?
No, not at the moment. Not because of, but it's not someone that fits. Not even age-wise. It's not someone that fits into
the profile
of what the club might do at the moment. But past that, Argentina were very lucky. The game didn't go into penalties. If it had gone to penalties, definitely something else might have happened. But that's what champions do. Defending champions, looking to get their hands on the trophy one more time again. And for Messi and his boys, one more time to go against their opponent in the round of 16.
I want to ask you, people are actually saying that the Argentine squad without Messi cannot perform on a good day. Do you agree to that statement?
Definitely. It's the X factor in that side, and for every game that comes around, it shows the reason why he's being revered and hugs the touch and the news line every time it comes to the field of play. 7 goals at the World Cup. Without his input in this current Argentina side, definitely they are nowhere to be found. Yes, one or two other players also pull their weight and make things happen for them, but at the end of the day, the ball still lies at the stock for Lionel Messi, and he's leading the charge very well, giving a good account of himself. Scored in virtually all the games is playing in competition. So that's to show you, it's even top the all-time assist charts in the World Cup history right now with his performance against Cape Verde. So that's to show you how great a man he is and how great a footballer he is.
All right, that's the update. And also we got an update from Lisandro Martinez after getting a goal, saying he almost ended his career due to the ACL injury. But he's back and played good football. And I'm sure Manchester United fans will be excited that he did not end his career, after battling an ACL injury. Let's talk about the Atlas Lion, Morocco, where, fans are saying they're not playing good football, but definitely they're advancing into the same stage they found themselves in 2022. They defeated the host nation 3-0. The man with the brace, Unai, getting the brace in that game, and definitely selling it. Brahim Diaz also being the top assister in Africa, showing how brilliant he can be on a good day. Without their star man Saibari making the list over the weekend, they had to do that one without him and getting the victory against the Canadians.
That's the hallmark of a team. If one player or one important player in the squad is absent, others step up to fill the shoes, and definitely they did that. I expected that victory from Morocco. Actually, the Canadian side don't look like one that would give them a run for their money. I've seen the Moroccan side play, I've seen the Canadian side play, and definitely on a good day, the Moroccans will edge them 5 out of 6 times when they play football. And that was a classic example of quality over quantity. And the Canadians are out. They were not a match for them, and with the pace and all they had in the side, the Moroccans just twisted and danced through them and put the ball in the back of the net and put the game to bed. Good one for Morocco, but now they have to contend against France in the round of in the quarterfinals. Exciting one to see, and I just wish them good luck.
All right, let me give you an update that Ghana also are out of the competition over the weekend, and you look at that one for Ghana, where Jordan Ayew in the whole competition had 0 shot on target.
The problem to me wasn't
I'm just saying that's how bad it was. For the Ghanaians, we saw the style of play they wanted to come with. They were not an opposing side. They were more of a tactical defending, and it doesn't win you games all the time. And right now, the coach of the Black Stars of Ghana have resigned from his job.
Yes, I saw the news this morning. Carlos Queiroz, he left the job. His 6th or 7th World Cup in charge of the national team at World Cup. Great one, but this time around, I didn't support the tactics, and at the end of the day, tactics like that don't win you competitions, on the grand stage. You can get away with it in the group stage or in a league format type of football. Pick up 1 or 2 victories over, it's going to cover your lapses, but when it comes to knockout football, you have to come correct or you go home, and that was what happened to them. 0 shots for Jordan Ayew in 4
Even
games.
Against Colombia, 0 shots on target, 0 big chance.
0 big chance.
Nothing was created.
And they were not ready to play football.
Yeah.
They were just there to disrupt your flow, get into the heads of your players, get into tackles that would disrupt the flow of the game for the opponent. But that didn't work. The Colombians got their chance, buried the ball in the back of the net, and they are into the round of 16 now, waiting for their opponents to play. So Colombians are one of the deadly sides in the competition. They are moving like dark horses, going under the radar, not making noises with their performances, but they are definitely getting the job done. And for the Ghanaian side, end of the road for them. Let's meet in the next 4 years, if possible.
If possible, and maybe still battle between Nigerian Jollof or Ghanaian Jollof. We'll still be having that battle, definitely.
The only sad thing for me is I'm not getting the ticket to...
To where?
You promised me a ticket if the Ghanaian side gets...
Yeah, I said that to you, but
definitely
it happened.
That's the only sad thing, but still Nigerian Jollof any day, anytime.
All right, beautiful. I want to ask you, your dark horse, is your dark horse still in the competition?
Yes.
I want you to be honest.
Yes, they're in the competition.
So remind me your dark horse.
The Norwegian side.
All right, I just wanted, because I went back to watch the video and I remembered you picking Norway. All right, let's talk about France over the weekend. Kylian Mbappe setting the record, chasing Messi tail, saying I'm not done yet. I'm still the star of the team, and proving that giving them on the penalty spot over the weekend against Paraguay that wanted to play dirty. Then you have to scream after being interviewed, if we have to dig our hands through, we will dig our hands through all of that. We know how to play dirty football too, and that was what the Paraguay came with over the weekend.
It was a disgraceful performance for me from the Paraguayan side.
No yellow card. No yellow card in that game.
And I don't understand what went through the mind of the referee for allowing that type of football to go on consistently for 90 minutes. The French national team showed what it means to be champions, and if you are chasing something, you have to just go through it another. And part of the coach Mbappe said in his post-match interview was, there is no perfect way to play football, you just have to win. So definitely they went that route for them. The French guys said, no, we are going to have it our way, we are going to play our football and not let that disrupt the flow of the game for us. And definitely they were lucky to get the penalty and bury the ball. Mbappe, the man at it again, leading in charge, and it still answers the question. Anytime the French national team gets something done, the almost 90% of the time goes to Kylian Mbappe. He leads the side very well, and you understand why he's been treated to be a dictator and all of that, but still he's doing the job. His goals is taking the nation forward, and his performances as well is leading by example. So great one for the French national team. They play Morocco in the quarterfinals. let's do this game on.
All right, game on. I'm loving the energy from Sanuruddin because it reminds me of 2022 when the Atlas Lion had to face the French national side. We would have a repeat of that in this year's World Cup qualifying game. So let's talk about a more exciting game over the weekend, and that happened yesterday between Norway and the Samba boys, Brazil. And for the record, I was expecting Norway to do that against Brazil, because they have not been exciting to me. I think we have lost the Brazilian flair after 2022. I've not enjoyed all of that again. It's been, individual performances, not quality, and all of that not ticking the box for them. That ended yesterday, 2-1. One man chasing the tail is Erling Braut Haaland, and he gave us a battle that reminded us about the Premier League against Gabriel Magalhaes, and definitely he came out on top, showing how good he is. Let's talk about the Norwegian side quickly for you, Sanuruddin. How have they, been able to come through these ranks and to this stage where they are to defeat a team like Brazil?
They've managed themselves very well, and one of the things in this competition a lot of people have not paid attention to is how you manage your players. When they rested 10 of the starting 11 against France in the third game, when they have actually qualified for the next round, it was bizarre or bizarre from the coach saying, how would you rest 10 of your starting 11 and field another set against France just to qualify as first out of the competition? But he said, we are going to manage our players, and since we've qualified, there's no reason to go through the out. And it's looking like it's paying off the dividend right now. If they had gone against France and won the game, maybe they would be in the tougher side of the draws leading to the finals of the competition. But right now, they are doing their things well, playing together as a unit, stalking on their opponent and waiting for time they will get the chance. And Haaland, clutch man, right place, right time. He's going to put the ball in the back of the net. He had, I think, just 4 shots in the game. Two of those
in the back of the net.
Back of the net. That's a benchmark of a great striker. His first World Cup, and he has 7 goals already. A lot of players played 4 or 5 tournaments, didn't register up to 3 or 4.
I could mention like 5 for you. Luis Figo, one of my top lists, and I'm surprised I didn't get a goal in the World Cup.
Didn't get it. So that's to show you how great the tournament is, and it's definitely pulling the sides to victory. The Brazilian sides were disappointing for me yesterday, but they have to go back to the drawing board.
How disappointing was the Brazilian side for you in this game and throughout this? Have they been exciting for you?
For 1 or 2 stints in some games, they played fantastic football. I think in the second round of the group stages, they played very well. In the round of 32, I saw a glimpse of the old Brazilians. Maybe it was the Japanese side that were conservative that actually drew them out of that game and brought the best out of them. But against the Norwegian side, they defended well. Yes, they had loads of the ball, the Brazilian side, yes, but converting the chances was a very big problem for them. Guimaraes was so awful for missing that penalty. That would, I think, would have changed the momentum of the game. Kunwa was exciting, got a penalty for them, also almost got a second penalty for them in the first half as well, but that didn't happen for them. But the Brazilian side, the midfield was lacking. Paqueta, Casemiro, they didn't help the side at all, and Fabinho joining the pack as well. It's not one player that inspires a lot of confidence.
So all that needs to change.
All that needs to change. And Hendrick, he had the chance in the second half. Should have put the ball in the back of the net as well. Maybe that would have switched on or brought out the best of the Brazilian side. But a lot of factors cumulatively went against Brazil, and now they have to go back to the drawing board. Most of their players will be going out of the competition. Neymar already announced his retirement after scoring that late penalty yesterday. Left as the highest goal scorer with 80 goals and in about 114 or 140 matches. I'm not sure of the right amount of games, but he's a Brazilian legend and definitely is one for the books. Left on the eye, last kick for the national team was a penalty that he put in the back of the net. Great one for him, but for the Brazilian side, they have the next 2 or 3 years to prepare for what's to come for them, because it's getting amazingly shocking. They were champions of the world last in 2002. Now, 24 years later, still chasing the title. I don't know who's going to turn things around for them.
I want to ask you quickly, do you think that them not having to play more European teams is giving them more of this issue? Look at their friendly games before the World Cup. They did not play any European team throughout the phase of this competition before getting to the FIFA World Cup 2026.
It's speculation.
It's been struggling against European
It's
teams.
been struggling against European teams, but if the quality had been there, a lot of question marks were raised when the roster was dropped for the 26-man list was dropped for the World Cup. A host of players will be biting their fingers yesterday and saying, "I would have done things differently in this side." Joao Pedro would have definitely had his say in this team. A host of other players that should have been called up into the Brazil national team, but Ancelotti had other options, he had other thoughts in his mind. He brought the players he felt were going to do justice for him in the team, and now he's going to have to face the consequences of his actions and maybe stay on the job or resign and look forward to other things to do with his life.
All right, just to inform you, let me inform you that in 2006, the quarterfinal, they faced France. In 2010, they faced the Netherlands in the quarterfinal. In 2014, the whooping, they faced Germany in the semi-final. In 2018, they faced Belgium in the quarterfinal of that one. And in 2022, they faced Croatia. And in 2026, they faced the Norwegian right there in the round of 16. So I think it's a cause for them facing European teams. Maybe they need to work on that and see how far they can go. Neymar announces his retirement from international football. And I quote, I tried. He started here at the MetLife Stadium and I finished here. It's now over. And Neymar said after the game, his story with the Brazilian national team is finally over. That's the update we are getting from Neymar Jr. and also the Brazilian outside. Also, let me inform you that Carlo Ancelotti has said he's not going to resign from the job of the Brazilian side. Let's take more update. Yesterday was cinematic. If you did stay awake at 2 a.m. Where we had the Three Lions take on the Mexican side at the stadium where you find it difficult to win games. We're talking the Azteca Stadium right there against Mexico. 3-2. That one ended. Jude Bellingham coming in to let you know after the competition, and Hurricane still letting you know I'm still one for the books, but the game ended in a fashion where we expected it to end. Fantastic football for you. How did you enjoy the game against the Mexican side?
The game, he made up for the delay due to the weather and all that. Postponed the game about an hour later than it was supposed to kick off. What was interesting, and a game that had 2 penalties, a red card, and several flurry of attacks in the game. That's what you want in the round of 16 of the World Cup. And interestingly, Mexico lost their first game in the World Cup at the Azteca Stadium. Definitely someone was going to break the curse, but right now that has happened. Jude Bellingham, man of the hour, man of the moment.
Getting the brace. The last person that got the brace was Diego Maradona.
That's to show you how fantastic Bellingham has been in this tournament. Yes, he didn't have the best of seasons towards the end with Real Madrid, but right now with the English national team, he's one man that everybody's looking forward to take them to the next level. And Harry Kane, clutch man, always there. Last time out in the round of 32, we hailed him for coming through, getting the brace that qualified them for the next round of the competition. Now again, in the round of 16, got the goal that cemented the victory in the end. Great one for the side, and I'm looking forward to their match against Norway because it's going to be an interesting one as well. We've complained bitterly or severally about the performances of the English national team, of them not performing up to expectation, but when it comes to knockout football, we mentioned Thomas Tuchel is a man that knows how to do that. Gets his players the right mentality, get your chances, and every other thing will work. They won't be the best side defensively. Jordan Konsa, very rash tackle on his opponent yesterday, and decidedly he got the red card. But Jude Bellingham, right place, right time, 2 times, put the ball. The first one was very fantastic, a diving header. The second one, that was very good pressing from the English national team, and they fell back. That's the error in English national team. The defense is not all that. It's not all that. So definitely that is one place for opponents to exploit. If you can get your chances against them and put the ball, they are going to give them a run for their money. But Harry Kane said, no, not today. We are going into the quarterfinals. We have to play against whoever wins against Norway and Brazil, and they did just that, and it was interesting to see.
Beautiful. All right, that's the update coming through from the game that happened between Mexico and the Three Lions of England. All right, let's take more stories quickly. As USA striker Folarin Balogun will be available to face Belgium after FIFA suspended his 1-match ban for a year. under the FIFA rule 10.5. Balogun was given a one-match ban and was set to miss Tuesday last of 16 clash with the Red Devils of Belgium. But the Belgium national team have come out to say, where's this rule coming from? And the manager of Belgium is asking, we are not in April. It looks like April Fool for me. Everybody's asking the question, what's happening at this World Cup? This is not what we want to see. Sanuruddin, I need an explanation to how we are overturning decision that we have a rule for, and it's going to happen to this team. It's not going to happen to this team.
We thought we are past that moment.
We should have passed that.
No, at this tournament, actually, we thought we are past the negatives and the controversies that are surrounding it. We just thought, okay, what is left now is what's going to happen on the field of play. But no, Trump always wants the headlines. Put a call through to Infantino, requesting for a review of a clear red card offense and a one-match ban for
now, the world is even saying that's not a red card.
That's a red card. That's a red card. Definitely, that's a red card. So we are past that. Decision has been made on the field of play. Why can't presidents from other hosting nations to call and say, overturn this red card or review this in our position? The match has been set. He got a red card. He's been suspended, and that's to show you they are upholding the suspension. They just suspended that. The ban. They suspended it, and that's not right. Why are you suspending bans for a player because the president of his nation called and said they should review it? If there had been any wrongdoing, they will say that's not a red card and allow him continue the competition. But definitely, you agree to that being a red card. Definitely, he has to face the consequences of his actions. But FIFA and the USA, one of the co-hosts of the current of the ongoing 2026 World Cup, have said definitely we are suspending this sentence for him. He has a chance to play against Belgium later in the round of 16, and let's see what he can do with the side for them.
How exciting is this going to be right here tonight between the USA and Belgium? We'll be looking forward to that because there's a lot of article that have been able to drop. You look at Article 66.4 from the FIFA disciplinary code, clearly provides that a red card sending off automatically result in a suspension for the team's next match, has been the case for all previous red cards.
That's why I said, to show you that everything is wrong. Or
it's wrong.
It's very contentious. They didn't deny that that's a red card. The suspension still stands, but they just suspended this sentence just to allow him to play in the game against Belgium. Is that going to be an X factor? Let's see what happens. If he scores a goal, would the Belgian side say a player who was supposed to be suspended against us definitely was on that
pushed them out?
That is opening a lot of doors for several controversies again. But that's the way Infantino, Trump, and everybody in charge feels they want to allow the 2026 World Cup story right up. We are going to stick with it. The red card against for Messi in the opening first game, that saw him got an hat-trick in the end. That was very contentious.
Messi fans will not be happy with Sanuruddin.
Another of that incident occurred, and definitely the player was given a red card. There was no suspension for it. And now you have a player whose ban has been suspended because his president also wants to see him play against Belgium. That's 2026 World Cup for you folks.
I agree. I agree. All right, so we'll be looking forward to that one. Let me just inform you that the end of a legendary career for Yesah Ochoa. He has been at the 6th World Cup. Only 3 players in the World Cup can say that: Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mo Ochoa, always giving everything for his country. An absolute legend that happened yesterday after the Mexicans were defeated by England. All tears on the face of Ochoa right there. All right, let's take more update, but this time around we'll be taking update from Wimbledon, because we get that to give and also come back to the World Cup to give you all of that. We have interesting stories making around in the world of tennis, and Sanuruddin will be giving us that update now.
In the world of Wimbledon yesterday, we spoke earlier in the show. We spoke about first-time quarterfinalists for Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff, and it was exciting to see. And on the ATP front, Novak Djokovic has surpassed Roger Federer's record of most wins in Wimbledon history, and that was very great when he did that in fantastic fashion against an opponent. And now we are in the second week of the Slam. this is the decisive moment. You can't slip up. And a lot of matches happened. Dimitri Dimitrov against Mario Berrettini ended in favor of Grigor. He won 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 5-7, 6-3 at the end of the day.
Beautiful.
It took him 5 sets to get that done. On the WTA front, Madison Keys defeated Amanda Anisimova 6-2, 6-3 at Wimbledon as well. And Zverev, the current French Open champion, coming up on the back of that victory, he defeated his opponent 6-2, 7-6, 6-4. Koboli defeated Kachayov 6-5, 7-6. I'm sorry, 7. No, sorry. Love 6, 7-6, 6-7, 6-2, 6-2. That was a 5-setter as well. It was interesting to see. Gaswate got defeated by Yela 7-6, 6-2 at the end of the day.
Fantastic one for her. Fantastic one.
Paolini defeated Maria Sakkari 6-1, 6-2 in fantastic fashion, straight sets. That's what you want to see, and it was all exciting. And later, Coco Gauff got a victory, got into the quarterfinals of the Wimbledon for the first time in her career. Naomi Osaka with a special kimono came on, and over the weekend as well, we got reports of Serena Williams withdrawing from the doubles due to injury she sustained in her first match, Wimbledon match against Maya Eaton. It was sad to see, but Venus had to continue later on without her, and we'll see her definitely later in the competitions.
Yeah, I was wondering. Okay, yeah, there you have it. You look at the screen right now, you're wondering, how do I take all of this in? That is, what these athletes go through to give you a show when it comes to different sports in the world. And this is, the star. We're talking about the star. We're talking about Serena Williams had to go through all of these, injections in the body to be fit again and come back better. She's quite old, and she's saying she just had to come back because of a beautiful kid to see that. Also, you mentioned Naomi Osaka after beating Arina Sabalenka at the Wimbledon, and she made a statement saying, "My mom over there, she cooks a lot. I feel like her cooking inspired me through this. Mom, I would appreciate if another meal tonight would do." I think it's okay. Honestly,
definitely,
for me, I think that gives me energy to once I get meals. Trust me.
Yes, your mom's meal is always definitely one of the best. And for Osaka, great one. She's found trouble against Sabalenka in times past, but definitely this time around she got over it. And for Serena, tennis is a very demanding sport. She took a very long time off, about 3 or 4 years off the court, and now she's back again trying to compete at the highest levels. That's a very big one, and our kids have gotten their grants, their wishes granted.
So, mommy, can you rest now?
Probably she's probably. I don't see her resting. I think she's going to come back next season on tour, maybe play 1 or 2 competitions. But chasing the record, I think, is off the books for her. She set her own legacy. Definitely the GOAT in a lot of people's books. And what is just left now is showbiz, and for the rest of her career. And the amount of medications on display in the picture right there before, that's to show you how demanding the sport is. Takes long time for you to recover from high-set games, and don't be surprised after a 5-setter game or after 2 hours or 3 hours standing in front of your fans, you still have to go for recovery. It's just demanding, and it's a one-man sport, not like football and other team sports where you get to share responsibilities. You are the man who has to do it.
At the end of the day, one person will go on with the Ballon d'Or at the end of the day.
That's
so, it is what it is.
But in tennis, it's not like that. You have to face it yourself and prove yourself to be a champion at the end of the day.
I don't know if my producer can play or my director can play. That video from Ali Azim and David.
You were all by that point. That was, I think, that's the point of the championship at the moment. Except something else happens, but that video. Except something happens right now, that's the point of the championship, and arguably one of the points of the year.
I was just expecting, it's been a long time I saw a display like this in a long while.
That's why Carlos Alcaraz is not on tour. He is on tour. They're giving you
giving us something like this.
I definitely miss him. I want my boy back on court.
Beautiful moment. And Ali Azim was just wondering, how did I not get that point in?
That's tennis for you. Sometimes you see video, you think you've gotten the point, and definitely you just see the ball hit the net or get out of play. So that was a very great one to see for us. And world number 1, Yannick Sinner gave us a fantastic performance over the weekend. There was one of his serves that was out of this world. It was a lesson in geometry. Took the ball right onto the edge of the net.
I love that terminology. Lesson in geometry.
Everybody was on their feet, and it's just exciting to see. Tennis is a very beautiful sport.
I agree with you.
If you're one that loves the game or one that wants to get into the game, it's one game you would definitely enjoy.
I agree. All right, let's move away from the Wimbledon and let's talk more World Cup stories as we wrap up the show. as Portugal are going to take on the Spanish side. But let me inform you that Cristiano Ronaldo has said this is going to be my last World Cup.
He doesn't need to tell us.
He just needed to come out to let us know. Just in case you're wondering, can you go another year with the Portuguese side? But you said this definitely will be my last World Cup, and it's going to take on the side Spain. Will finally are getting into the rhythm of what we know the Spanish side to be. They're back. They're going to face Portugal, and I want to start off with you, Sanuri. Let's start off with the Portuguese side. They have not been able to come to the party yet. I mean, you look at all of the teams, it's not the Portuguese side everybody we're expecting. We're expecting total dominance. You talk about the midfield, the defense, the attack, and all of that. Do you think they need to do that right now? And what needs to tick the box for them? Quickly.
Definitely need to change their approach to the games. They've not been fantastic in the way they started games throughout the competition. Bar the game against Uzbekistan, which were definitely lesser opponents. Everybody expected that from them. They've struggled to contain their opponent in games, and that's attributed to the lack of cohesion in the midfield. And the midfield players as well, even though they with the amount of balls they get, the amount of possession they get to keep, they don't play those extra passes or those risky passes that tend to create an open spaces for your attackers to get big chances. So definitely they need to change that, get the balance right in the midfield. Yes, Vitinha and Neves are exciting players, but they've not been able to do anything at this tournament. Bruno Fernandes too has not been able to bring the form from his record-breaking Premier League assist season into the World Cup. So definitely one or two things need to change in the middle of the pack for them. And up front as well, they need the brilliance of Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Leao, or João Felix, whoever starts on that end, and whoever deputizes for them. And maybe we're going to see Gonzalo Ramos from the start today. That's one to look forward to. That's the headache for Roberto Martinez right now. Is he going to?
If you're Roberto Martinez, are you starting Ronaldo ahead, or you start Gonzalo Ramos quickly?
I'm going to actually start both of them. For me, that gives us an advantage to play the ball. If you kill off the game as early as possible, definitely that's going to be a good one. And the Spanish side don't look like that team with the best of defenses. If you can utilize that and get yourself an advantage early in the game, definitely the game will go in your favor. But it's going to be exciting to see. It's a repeat of the
Euros,
Nations League final, and the repeat of the 2018 World Cup opener. It's going to run it back for us, get an hat-trick against Spain this time around. It's a very big one to look forward to. And Lamine Yamal is also exciting. Oyarzabal, exciting players on the rack for Spain right now. Got 2 goals in the last round of the competition to get them to this stage. And we've all known this side of the draw leading to the finals is the toughest, and we're looking to see who eventually emerges and face the opponent from the next round of the competition.
All right, beautiful. That one, we're looking forward to that. Drop your predictions quickly. So, do your prediction quickly.
That's a very tough one. 3-1 or 3-2 Portugal.
3-1 or 3-2 Portugal. All right, I'll be going with the Spanish side to win that game 2-1. And definitely we'll be back here to talk about that. Belgium against USA quickly.
Belgium will qualify at the end of the day.
And we'll just scoreline.
Scoreline 1-0 or 2-1.
1-0 or 2-1. All right, for Belgium, it's going to be the USA to qualify 2-1. We'll be back here. You can drop your predictions ahead of that one. And tomorrow, we'll be giving you more updates in the world of transfer. Stay connected right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Remember, today's Monday. Get out there, get walking. Don't be lazy and put yourself to work. We're going to see you again tomorrow, same station, same time. I am Paul Abbey to the one and me. A big thank you to the producer and the crew. Stay blessed and bye for now.